On yesterday's show, we told you that following the deactivation of its speed cameras, the town of Oakville has received more than $891,000 from the province to cover some of the costs of keeping its streets safe. However, Burlington would not be receiving any funds, as despite announcing their automated speed enforcement plan, the cameras had not yet been activated. What type of deficit does this put the city in? That was my first question today in our weekly chat with Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed.
We are into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. We first decided we were going to study where these were most needed, where other measures had either been tried or failed or were not appropriate. So we brought in some contracted services, and we determined they were best fit around our school zones, but not every school zone, only select ones. We have 52 schools. We were about to install all of six at six locations where most needed. We had gone ahead and put up some signs. We were not like 90 days away, but a little less than that because we'd done the photo op. It's coming. We warned people, and then the legislation dropped and everything was put on pause. So we spent a lot getting ready, and we've spent some. I think we were able to return our speed cameras. Maybe
Well,
there's
that's
somewhere in
good news.
Kentucky or
That's
somewhere, I don't know,
that's
who's
good news.
gonna
At least you were able to return them,
Good,
right?
good. Yeah, it's like Amazon. You just ship them back. So that was helpful to us. But this was an issue around the funding that we noticed right away, that it was only available to municipalities that had them operational and had to take them out, which we didn't think was fair. Certainly, when we as Ontario big city mayors spoke out, we said it shouldn't just be for traffic calming. It should be for all the upfront costs that municipalities have incurred at whatever stage. We didn't get that. However, the good news is I did raise this very issue with one of our members of provincial parliament, Efri Triantafilopoulos. She's looked into this, and there is expected to be a second tranche of funding that will be open to all. So we're not eligible for the first because we didn't have ones operational, but by all indicators, we will be eligible for the second. So I guess that's a wait and see. That's a half cup half full there on the funding.
All right. Well, regardless of what happens in that particular situation, you do have good news about the budget as
We
well. A
do.
slightly lower tax increase than initially proposed, right?
Yes, I had directed staff based on a review of what we needed to bring in a budget at 4.49. Council endorsed that. We had a full day and a bit on Monday, where council could bring amendments. I brought several, which resulted in the biggest decreases to the budget. There were some add backs. I also brought an add back to invest more in infrastructure. So really, at the end of the day, this budget is an inflation, accounting for inflation and infrastructure, with a little bit for new services based on, for example, opening the library at Bateman. So it is now sitting at 4.46. So slight reduction, but still a reduction. And we still have to wait now for Region to finish their business. That's coming. If there's no change to the projected budget there, and we had some preliminary presentations last week, we'll get to that next week for a vote. So then we'll know exactly where everything sits, but we don't expect significant change. So it still should be under 4.5.
All right, that is positive news. And finally, as we round things out this week, we're in phase 2 of Burlington's Community Trails Strategy. A survey for public opinion is going to be open on December the 7th. Is this for both urban and rural trails? And because I'm curious, trail's a trail. What is the city looking for here? What's to be discussed?
We want to know how people use the trails, their experiences. So some, for example, in the urban area have multiple users, cyclists, pedestrians, dog walkers. Are there measures that should be taken to reduce potential conflict between those uses? In the rural area, there are things like, how do you access it? Is there a parking lot? Is there, roadside parking? Is it signed? These are the kinds of things that we can discuss as part of the trail strategy, and also looking at where have people kind of beat a path, but it's not an official trail. So we have a bunch of those, desire lines, if you want to call it that, where it's like, oh, there's a trail here, but it's not really a trail, but maybe there should be a trail here. So that's the kind of consultation that is part of this as well.